Okay, so this is going to be about pick-me's. I don't know if you know what pick-me's are. Pick-me's are girls who quite literally want to be picked, and they reek of desperation to be picked. And there's a rhetoric online right now about the dangers of pick-me's, because pick-me's will do absolutely anything to get picked by men, including put women in danger. And there's this portion of pick-me's that people almost think, when it comes to pick-me's, that they won't have friends, right? Because they're so male-centric. But the reality is there are some pick-me's who have tons of male friends, and then there's some pick-me's who have tons of women friends around them, but all of them are male-centered. And that's why they do well together. And those are the same women that will tell you that women are catty, or they have a hard time making friends with other women. And that's specifically due to the fact that they will fuck over their girlfriends just to get the attention of a man. So they may have girlfriends, but they will actively harm their friends in order to get the attention of men. Recently, the most popular pick-me's that have come up are Andrea and Sarah Ann from Love Island and Love is Blind, I believe. And Sarah Ann ends up being left by the guy. They've broken up, but she shot her shot in this guy's DMs, even though he was engaged to another girl, because she's like, you only live life once, and you need to take a risk. And anyone who's a girl's girl is like, yeah, you do only live once, and you do need to take risks, but not at the expense of other women. But she did not care. And that is what makes her a pick-me. She was willing to basically embarrass herself on national TV in the pursuit of a man. And that's the thing about pick-me's, is whenever they get backlash for their actions, they will take that backlash and be like, see, girls aren't girls. If they were girls, they would be my friend. They would stand up for me going after what I want. But they don't care that they had to like climb over people to do that, or harm other women to do that. And Andrea, Sierra, and there's one other one of them, Daya, those three girls are pick-me's, but you notice they're friends, right? They came in on Casamore from Love Island. They came in together and they were friends, but they weren't friends the way Leah, Serena, and Janae are, because they would not pick a man over their friend. They would prioritize their women friendships just as much as they prioritize their partners. And that is because they have whole sense of self and relationships, and their friends and family are just as important as their partner, which allows them to create meaningful connections with other women. But when you look at Daya, Sierra, and Andrea, you notice they were besties in the show, but you don't see them together on social media. They're not standing up for one another so much. They're not having each other's backs in the same way. And that is because they are male-centered women. They prioritize how men see them and men picking them over having friendships with other women. And that will always backfire in the long run for women, because when you are that way as a woman, you attract men who center men as well. You don't attract men who center women. You might attract men who center women in sleeping with them, but you're not going to attract men who genuinely want to form real relationships with you and get to know you on a deeper level. And you saw that with Rob and how he treated Andrea. She came in kind of, and nothing against people who are like sexual in nature, but she came in that way. And he had a stronger connection with her than he did with Leah. And I think that was more like sexual, right? And he even said that. And then she comes out, she thinks they have this deep connection, but they don't know anything about each other. They don't really know each other. They were only together for a couple days. So she comes out thinking that they have a very good connection, but it's based off of sexual energy, not based off of actual compatibility. And then when he comes out and sees her posting online, that was enough for him to no longer be interested because he never really got to know her. And when he was still on Love Island, he built a connection with another girl that starts with the name D. I can't remember her name right now. But they were intimate together on the show. Again, Rob prioritizing sexual connection with a woman and not emotional or intellectual. And that's why these girls feel like they have a strong connection, because they're pick-me women. They want to be picked. And in their eyes, if a man is giving you sexual energy, he is picking you. But he's not picking those girls in a way that he wants to commit to them and stay with them. He's picking them because they're the most convenient thing in front of him at that moment. And the reason that pick me has this negative connotation towards it as well is that when you're giving pick me energy, the energy you're giving is desperation. I remember there was a girl I was friends with in high school, and we were best friends, best friends off. Like we had this very like push and pull friendship from the time we were in grade 5. And she's somebody that I would probably label, I'm sorry if you're watching this, I would label her as a pick-me, at least when we were younger. I don't really know her that well now. And what she would do, she always craved male validation. And she had a ton of friends, but she also craved that connection that I feel like a lot of pick-me's try and get with other women. And she was always trying to be friends with like the popular crowd and the preppy girls, which I was friends with her and friends with them. And I always got this sense of jealousy from her in regards to that. And she was always like trying to pursue friendship with them. And again, that gives that desperation vibe. And with me in particular, with those girls, I never really cared if we were friends or if we weren't friends, because to me, again, they were just people. They were people that I could form a connection with or could not form a connection with. That's what it came down to. But for her, there was a hierarchy and also just a level of wanting other people's approval from those girls as well as guys. And that was not something that I really needed at that point in my life. There's points where I've been a pick me too, but at that point in my life, I really did not care. I really was antisocial. But I think that you'll see it with people who are kind of nonchalant or kind of avoidant. They tend to attract more energy towards them just because they aren't giving that pick-me desperation. You can also see Andrea's desperation to be picked by women when Leah came out of Love Island and she has millions of followers, and Andrea's trying to backpedal on all the things she said about Leah because she's not a girl's girl. She doesn't like other women. Like Andrea does not like other women. And Leah is very much nonchalant, very much like, I don't care. Like, you said what you said. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm just going to let it go. But Andrea very much is that girl that craves validation from outside of herself, which is a sense of insecurity, which, everyone has insecurities, but this is how it comes out in those pick-me women. And yesterday, a couple weeks ago, I had made a video talking about Alberta and how I don't like it. And there was this girl that I mentioned in the video. I didn't mention her in my name specifically because she's a pick-me woman who has amassed a following of very angry red pill men, incel men, which if you don't know what red pill or incel men is, it's just like involuntarily celibate men or men who just very much don't like women. So what she'll do is she'll make videos based off of anything a girl says online that she doesn't like. And again, she gives pick-me energy. So she gives that energy of like, she probably does not have a lot of close girlfriends. And it's not because girls don't like other girls, but because she's the one that would cause harm to women and then be like, yeah, women are catty and bitchy. And it's like, well, women are catty and bitchy towards you because you actively go out of your way to target them, but they don't seem to understand that they're giving that energy to women so they get the same energy back from women, because women aren't just going to roll over and be pushovers when you're trying to actively harm them. But anyways, I had mentioned her in my video specifically because she is one of these women and she's always attacking other women. And she made a video addressing me and she's like, what? So I can't call out women for their bad behavior? And it's like, you totally can call women out for their bad behavior, but you're not calling women out for their bad behavior. You're defending men every which way. Like 99% of her comments are men. And she has a partner, which is great. But those men are actively hitting on her and actively saying like, oh, I wish you were single, and if you were single, and if you visit me. And she doesn't understand the concept that those men don't like her. They like her the same way that Rob liked Andrea. The validation that they get from a woman who caters to them doesn't mean that they actually like you. They just like the validation. And in the end of her video, she turned it towards me and she said something about how much dick I get. And she's like, but clearly you're not getting any. And it again just draws attention to the fact that these women who are pick-me's, who crave male validation, judge other women based off your ability or their idea of you getting male validation, which is the same with men. Like when you see misogynistic men, they're like, you're going to be alone forever. And you're like, and I don't judge my value based off of men's perception of me. My value is internal. Like I know enough about myself that I don't feel insecure. And you having to attack me for what you perceive to be how many people I'm sleeping with, because these are the same people that if you sleep with too many people, whatever too many people is to them on that day, they'll judge you for that. If they perceive you to be anything outside of what they like, then you're not getting enough dick. And that's why you don't see things the way that they do. Because once again, they measure everything in life by how much men like you or want to sleep with you. Which is once again why they're dangerous. Because I know this one girl and she was telling me how her friend, you know, she's really hard to get to know, because I'd met her one time and I was like, I don't really like her that much. She's like, well, you know, she's really hard to get to know, but once you get to know her, and I was like, that's fair. She just doesn't really seem like a girl's girl to me. And she goes, oh no, like she just has a hard exterior. And then she told me how her girlfriend, this girlfriend, will go to the strip club with the guys and buy lap dances for the guys in relationships. And I just kind of sat back and I'm like, this is what I mean when I say that girls are dangerous to other women and their relationships, because they will actively do things to harm you and to put you and your partner in situations that cause strife between the two of you. And don't get me wrong, the man can say no. But the fact that you as a woman who are a friend with these girls will buy lap dances for your friends' partners is a testament to how you view women, and that you would rather be looked at as a cool girl, as one of the guys, than somebody who would look out for their girlfriends. But then the same girl will say women are bitchy. Well, of course I'm going to be bitchy towards you. You want to go out and you want to buy my boyfriend lap dances. I'm not going to be nice to you. Why would I? You're not being nice to me. It also comes back to like when women say that they don't have, or they have a hard time connecting with other women, and people will say, well, that's a red flag, and you'll see other women come online and argue with that. And it's not that women who have a little bit of female friends are problematic. It's when every woman to you seems confrontational or seems to not like you, it's most likely because you're doing something to those women. And you have to understand that pick-me women can be dangerous too. Like contextually, like let's put you at a club with a girl who's a pick-me. I've been at clubs with girls who are pick-me. You guys go out together. You get a ride there. It's a girls' night. You're going out. You're having fun. And your pick-me friend will leave you at the club with men you don't know. Like abandon you to go sleep with a guy, to go hook up with a guy. Pick-me women are the same girls that will get in a relationship and all of a sudden you don't hear from them anymore because they're so busy with their partner. And there can be signs of like domestic violence in those situations where the man is isolating her. But pick-me women get into these situations that are dangerous for them because they abandon themselves for men to try and get men to approve of them. They will throw you under the bus to do so.